Hey everyone, welcome back. Our next guest is a Dominican American baker and owner of Jessis Sweet Treats. Born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens, greatly influenced by her mother's love for party planning, organizing, and baking. So much so, she eventually started her own baking business, offering virtual baking and frosting classes, as well as selling signature cake jars, cookies, cakes, and cake toppers for special occasions and holidays. Please welcome baker and owner of Jessis Sweet Treats, Jessica Mondesi. Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
So, I gotta say, just like going through the images, I was like, oh my gosh, I so want a cake in a jar.
I can totally send you some. Just let me know
Oh,
where to send them.
holding you to it, holding you to it. But let's talk about this concept. Let's talk about this
Yes.
concept of cake in a jar. Like, first of all, who came up with it, and how do you know how to layer it? Because it's obviously see-through, and you have to be able to like have the different like layers of the cake and the colors. So let's talk about that whole concept of cake in a jar.
Yes. So actually the idea came from, so when I make an actual cake, there's usually cake scraps because you kind of, to make the cake even, you kind of have to cut off the top because sometimes they don't bake so evenly. So I came up with that idea when I was like, okay, I have all these cake scraps, either, I'd munch on them or they'd go to waste. So I kind of just got the idea of throwing them in a jar, those scraps. So I would do layers of cake. Then I'd add frosting. I'd put another layer of cake frosting usually, and or if it's depending on the flavor. Sometimes I might add some crumbles in the middle, things of that sort. So it's kind of just layering each thing. That's how you see the different layers from the outside.
And the different colors and
Yeah,
the different flavors, right? And
yeah.
so, all right, so do you consider yourself more of a baker that that does cakes, or because I mean your organization, your company is called Sweet Treats.
Yes.
So let's talk about the name, how it was developed. Obviously I already shared with our audience what inspired it, and where you are now, having gone through a pandemic.
Yes. So honestly, I've always had the interest. So my boyfriend, he's pretty business minded, and he kind of just gave me idea. Why don't you start, selling this? It's one of your hobbies. Start making, a little bit of money on the side, because I am also a full time teacher. I do work with elementary school students. So I started off by just creating an Instagram. Jessica is my name, as you mentioned. So I just got, added my name and added sweet treats to it. So I started posting on Instagram, and I kind of just had friends of my family start off by ordering. And that's how I started off. So I would just post every time they would order from me, my family would order, I'd post pictures, and eventually they'd share, they'd repost my work as well. And I just kind of started to get my name out there. And as far as during the pandemic, oh man, it was, first of all, it was an insane time for all of us. None of us knew, anything like what was going to happen. So during the pandemic is actually when I started my Do It DIY cupcake kits for children. I just came up with the idea because I was teaching from home, and I work with children all the time. And I figured, I saw my friends posting about having their children at home, especially if they were working from home. It was very difficult to manage.
Wasn't the term, or the proper term, co-workers?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
remember those days very
Yes.
clearly because I have one myself.
Oh, yes, exactly. I don't have any myself, but I was working with them all day long. So I kind of just came up with the idea. We need to keep these kids busy at home. So I thought it was a great idea to just put this together in a kit. I would bake the cupcakes so the parents wouldn't have to worry about doing that job. and I prepared the frosting. The parents or the children were able to select a color, select their toppings, and it was a great time for the kids. They were able to just create and include that hands-on that the children need. And it was very popular during the pandemic, for sure.
Nice, nice. So it kicked off your virtual classes. And
Yes.
so we got to make sure that we share with everyone before we go that what you're going to be offering for Easter. And by the way, in case anyone is unfamiliar with the term DIY, that stands for do it yourself.
Oh, yes, yes.
Just in case, just in case.
Yes.
And so I'm going to assume that when you started this business, your intentions were not to create DIY cupcake kits, and that
No.
it just kind of evolved out of the circumstances,
Yes.
which I like bringing that up because I like also sharing with our viewers and with anyone for that matter that there's a silver lining to what we've all endured and
Yes.
are still enduring.
For sure. Yes. It was definitely not a plan. It was just something that happened, like you said, because of the pandemic. Yeah.
So, all right. So, obviously, if they want to order sweet treats, they can go to your website, which we're going to share with them later. But let's
Yeah.
talk about what you have coming up for Easter, because I know you're going to be offering something special for Easter.
Yes. So for Easter, I actually will be offering those DIY kits for the children. And even adults, they will have, but the children do have a spring break. So that's an awesome way to keep them busy. I'm also going to be offering assorted treat boxes, which I typically in my treat box, they will be related to Easter. So the colors, but I usually include things like cupcakes, macaroons, chocolate covered Oreos, chocolate covered Rice Krispies, things of that sort.
I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yes,
please.
many options, many options. And I also plan to offer a virtual class as well. That's going to be on Saturday, April 16th, and we're going to be making Easter chocolate chip cookies. So that's definitely exciting. And I'm offering that for children.
And so do people need to register for it? And what time are the classes?
Yes, so it will start at 1 o'clock on that Saturday, and they
Hmm.
do need to register. So there will be a link to register on my website. So where I have virtual classes, and it will say Easter, virtual class on there. So,
Oh my gosh, it sounds wonderful. And so there's no age range or anything, right? It's more of like a family affair.
oh yes, yes. Of course, when I've done my virtual classes, the parents, the siblings, older siblings, they always enjoy helping out and joining in and, just taking part because, it is a holiday and people can spend the time together as well. So,
And so because it is a DIY, is there ingredients on the website so that people can actually get it in advance so that they're ready for your
yeah.
class? Is that how that works?
Yes, I will be sending out all of that information once you're registered,
Just
all of the ingredients, all of the supplies that you may need. And also, if you're located in New York City, I also will include a kit of the materials if that is also an option if, some parents prefer that just to have less on their plate.
That's lovely. That's definitely the route I would go.
Yes. The easy way, why not?
I'm like, yeah,
Parents
just
have
have it shipped to
anything.
me.
Yes, yes.
That's wonderful that you offer that option. Thanks again. All right, everybody. Jessica Mondesi, once again, for more on her virtual classes and her treats, you can visit jessissweettreats.com
Yes,
and also on IG at jessis_sweet_treats. All right,
yes.
stay tuned because Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next.